Alright guys, so here's a review of the Cadisen C1898. So this is an homage of a Rolex, which you probably already know from the thumbnail and the title. But the interesting thing about this one is the dial. It's something a little bit different. So it's actually a palm dial. I do quite like it. But full disclosure, I was sent the watch for free. I don't have to send it back, but as always, you know, I'm not going to change the way I do my reviews. Going to keep it 100% honest all the time, no matter what. Even if that means they don't send me another watch. But question is it any good? Other than that dial, is it worth getting? Would I recommend it? Before we get down to that, just quickly going to say, this is actually going to be on sale soon. So between the 20th and the 23rd, this is going to be on sale on AliExpress. Link will be down in the description as always. But I've also got a slight discount as well. That'll be down there too. That's going to be Honest Watch, I think, the discount code. So if you do want to pick one of these up at the end of it, just make sure you check that out. But let's get down to it and find out if it's any good. So here it is, comes in the usual Cadisen box, with the branding, nothing flash but does the job. And then we've got a few bits in here, quickly go over these. So you've got the warranty card, which isn't signed or dated or anything, so not much use. Instruction manual, we're not interested in that. Cleaning cloth, which is branded, that's not too bad, quite useful. Then we've got the watch itself, pop that to one side. And then you've got the links I've taken out at the moment, but get all that out of the way. And then here is the watch itself. And it's all about that dial. So let's zoom in on that, talk about it straight away. So you can see we've got the palm leaf design. It's really cool, does look nice. And it's actually slightly reflective as well. Bit of a sunburst effect on it almost. Does play with the light nicely. Now as for the rest of the dial, we've got applied indices, which have got silver surround, which is polished. We've also got that nice applied logo at the 12, which I do quite like. And then we've just got the printed text with Cadisen automatic, and then 100 metre water resistant. But it is all nicely done. So that around the outside, where it all says Cadisen, I know some people don't like that. Normally when you're wearing it you don't really see it. It's just an interesting little detail I think. But I can understand why some people might not like it. And then with that Cyclops, nice amount of magnification there. And it seems to be nicely aligned as well. So quickly talk about the dimensions as well, because this is the other important thing with this watch. So we've got 11.2mm, but if we include that Cyclops, it's more like 12.6. Got a diameter of 40mm, lug width, interestingly, is 22. I was a little bit surprised by that one, didn't actually look at the listing properly, I just assumed it was going to be a 20. So it's a little bit odd that. Now with the lug to lug, we've got just over 48, 48.2, and because we've got female end links, that is the actual lug to lug. It's always good to see we go from female end links. I just wish all watches would have that, to be honest. And then seeing as we're around here, let's talk about the rest of the case. Give a quick wipe first. So you can probably tell it's a fully polished case, so a little bit of a fingerprint magnet, but it is nicely finished. And then we've got that nice sign crown again with the logo. And then when it comes to the bracelet, as I said, mixture of brushed and polished. Yeah, I've got a little bit of scuffing on that already. That's the only problem with it being polished. It does scuff up a little bit. And then we've obviously got that lovely fluted bezel, which is high polish, which just catches the light really nicely. That's one of those things you're either going to love or hate. But if you're not liking it, this obviously isn't the watch for you. So now let's test whether we've got sapphire crystal on this. Using the trusty diamond selector too. And yep, we have got sapphire crystal. Just test that Cyclops. and that is just mineral. Quickly flick it round to the back, test that. And that's just mineral as well. But you kind of expect that, really. You don't tend to get sapphire cyclopses and backs unless you've got a more expensive watch, really. Or the more expensive AliExpress ones, anyway. In fact, quickly talk about that. Around the back. So, as you can tell, we've got the display window on the back, got the 100 meter water resistance, Cadisen, automatic, and then the model number. And then the movement in this is a Miyota 8215. Not my favourite Miyota movement, the 8000 series. The rotor can be a little bit noisy, but with this one it's not been too bad. Let's show you that movement in action. So we've got a screw down crown. In fact, let's just move those hands out of the way, so pop it out twice. Get the hands out of the way. So pop that back in now. So if I pop it out once, then we can change the date. If I pop it out again, you can see the second hand is actually still moving, so we haven't got a hacking on this one. That's one of the issues. Well, that's another one of the quirks, I'd say, with the 8000 series, the 8215. Because obviously with an NH35 or a lot of other movements you actually have hacking, but this one you don't. But then pop it back in, we have got hand winding, and then obviously screw it back down. So now let's test what the loom's like on this. So you can see we've got a little bit there already, but let's charge it up, give it a proper chance. You can see while I'm doing that as well, the way that that palm dial is reflecting that. It is interesting dial this. It's definitely all about that dial, really. It's definitely the star of the show. And there we go. So you can probably see straight away what the issue is with this. There's actually quite a decent amount of loom on the indices, albeit a touch inconsistent across them. But the hands, they're that small, there's just not enough area to actually get any decent amount of loom on it. So it's pretty much useless when it comes to the loomness, because the hands are pretty much gone already. There wasn't a lot to begin with, and what was there is more or less gone already. So I don't really know why they bothered, to be honest. But it is what it is. So all that's left to do now is show you what it's like on wrist. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist. And it's definitely a really good looking piece, this. Something a bit different too. The way the light catches that dial and that fluted bezel, just really nice. I do like it. And it does fit well as well with these female end links. Would have preferred to see it maybe a 38 or even 36 as opposed to the 40, but again, for me, it's not too bad. Wears nicely. If you've got a smaller than 7-inch wrist, it might be a touch big. Perhaps at some point they can release a smaller one, who knows. Only other slight issue, this butterfly clasp. You don't have any micro adjust on them, so whether you can get a good size is a bit hit and miss. This is a smidge too big for me, really, too loose. But if I take another one out, it's a bit too tight. So I'd rather it be slightly loose than too tight, obviously. But it's not overly loose. It's not too big to be annoying. But it's just not ideal. But that's pretty much par for the course when it comes to butterfly clasps. Other than that though, really nice piece. And again, if you do want to pick one up, links are down in the description. Also, don't forget to use that discount code, HonestWatch, to get $10 off. Only a little discount, but little's better than nothing. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.